Hey there everybody, it's Dr. Lisa, and today I wanted to shoot a short video for you to help people who may be newer with Young Living to unbox your package that's going to come with your premium starter kit and figure out what's what in that kit and how to best get started using your essential oils so that they can start benefiting your health. So when you ordered your premium starter kit, I told you it probably would take a week to 10 days to arrive. And it'll come in one large box with several smaller boxes inside. So what I'd like to do today is to help unbox that box with you, show you what will be in that package, and get you started and hopefully answer some questions that you may have so that we can avoid any confusion and help you get started right away with the benefits of the oils. So first things first, when you open your brown box, you're going to get a welcome kit that looks like this. Glare is kind of bad here. So it's a pretty purple and white box, and you open the flap, and this is what it looks like. So let's go over what each of these things are in these slots. Okay. This is a packet of Ninja Red, which is absolutely one of my favorite products that Young Living makes. And this is the super antioxidant drink. Let me get that up here so you can see a little bit better. Super antioxidant drink made by Young Living, and the main component is Ninja Wolfberries, but that's not the only thing that's in there, so that makes it a little bit different than just going to your health food store and picking up some dried goji berries, which is another name for wolfberries, or picking up some goji berry juice. It's quite a bit different. And one thing I really like about this juice is that it only has 2 grams of sugar per packet, which is really unusual for juice. And as a rule, I don't drink juice, and I tell my patients not to drink juice because it's such a dense source of sugar, which is not conducive to health. So this has low sugar, and it has some substances in it that are among the highest antioxidant value that you can find. And it also has a blend of essential oils in it. So just reading the package, has grape, orange, lemon, tangerine essential oil. So an extremely helpful thing for you to get started with. And I would take these out of that box, throw them in the fridge, because they do taste a little bit better cold, but honestly, I've had them warm and they're not bad at all. So just pop those in the fridge and get started with those. And for people with health challenges or cancer patients, I recommend that you start with at least 2 ounces of this per day. And you'll have to play a little bit and experiment and see which time of day works best for you. So I find that it's really versatile for me. I can either take it in the daytime, and it gives me a little bit of a burst of energy with that nutrition in my body, or I can also take it right before bed, and it helps me sleep better. So it's a very versatile supplement. Okay, so also in this box, you'll find your bonus bottle of oil. So when you got your kit, it came with 10 everyday oils and a bonus bottle of oil, which is this Citrus Fresh. And this is a really nice uplifting oil. Any of the citrus oils are very detoxifying, very uplifting. But this one I like to put a couple drops in my water first thing in the morning, either this or lemon oil. And it gets me started, gets my system detoxifying, and gives me energy to start my day before I even have my breakfast or my coffee. So that comes in that welcome kit. And also, and I apologize because I have run out of these, but you'll see some foil packets that look similar to this shape. And you'll get 10 packets in your kit, and they are 5 of Young Living's most popular oils. And I think the best thing to do with these is to either throw them in a gym bag, maybe peppermint, take with you, and apply some on your temples, behind your ears. And you may want to dilute it because peppermint is a warmer oil. Gives you a little burst of energy before you go to do some physical activity. Or you can just give these to friends. Once you start using your oils, you'll really enjoy them, and you'll start talking about them. And people will ask, well, Can I try it? Do you have any I could try before I decide if I'd like to get my own? And these are perfect samples to give to people for that purpose. So I carry a couple of these when I'm not out at the place I go to share with others. And next, if I can get it out of the box, you find this, which is called a roller fitment. So it's this black cap, and inside the black cap, a little metal roller ball. It looks like this. And this is good to pop on some of the oils that are not sensitive for your skin, such as Stress Away. People love to pop that on Stress Away. And that makes an instant bottle that you can carry with you and just roll on as needed. Anytime, especially with Stress Away, that you feel some tension during the day, or you have to give a speech, something that would normally make you a little nervous or tense, you can roll that on your wrists, behind your ears, a little on your neck, and get the effect of the oil that way. So I'll demonstrate for you how that works really quickly, just because I was very confused and felt really dumb when I first got my oils. I couldn't figure out how to get this on the bottle. So let's use this bottle, for example. When you open the bottle, on the top, it'll come with this oil drop cap on it, oil reducing orifice on there. So you can pop that off with your thumb, leaving the open top, and you'll set that roller ball right down on the top of that bottle. And in order to secure that on there and not have it pop right back off, you have to screw that black lid on. So once you screw that down really tight, you should be able to open it right back up, and it won't come out. So now you're good. And if you need to get that off for some reason, you turn that over and you can just sit it on the edge of that roller ball and pull off to the side, and it comes back off if you want to put your oil, regular oil lid back on there. So that's how that's used. And I think that's everything in the welcome kit. Well, there are a few things underneath this main platform right here. You can pull this piece out. And just to show you what's in there, you have some literature underneath those pieces that I just showed you. There is a welcome booklet, which you can go through, as well as some information about essential oils at a glance, which is really nice to have. So do go ahead and look through that. Okay, and next we have our everyday oil box, which will come inside of the main box and look like this. And you'll have a piece that slides right out of there. And this is where your 10 essential oils that come in the Everyday Oils collection are contained. And we'll go ahead and open that and take a look at those oils. So this is what you'll see. Only yours will have oils in it. And here are the oils that are going to come in this kit. Okay, frankincense is going to be your first oil, and you have to excuse me because mine are a little bit worn and loved. And it's actually pretty amazing that frankincense comes in this kit because it's one of the pricier oils. So it's nice that they've included a 5 ml frankincense in there for you. And I use that one, and I'm going to use this term so I don't get in trouble with the FDA, but it's called a cellular health aid. And some chronic diseases are caused by the absence of cellular health and by cells getting out of whack and out of control. So frankincense is very good to keep those cells in control and healthy and replicate in a healthy way. And frankincense is also wonderful for skin, so I have that one in my jar of nighttime cream that I use on my face and on my body and also on my scars where I've had mastectomy. And it's done amazing things for my skin, and it's almost diminished my scars completely. So I highly, highly recommend that you get started with that frankincense. And it's also wonderful for mood, from a diffuser, mood and adrenal health. So that is frankincense. Next we have lavender, which is known as the Swiss Army knife of oils. And I love the smell of lavender. Some people don't like it so much, but you'll have to just play around with it and see how you feel about it. And even if you don't really like the smell and you end up not putting it in your diffuser, it's a wonderful thing to put on the bottom of your feet for stress and relaxation. And if you put it on the bottom of your feet, you won't be able to smell the smell as powerfully as if you diffused it, say, or put it on your neck or behind your ears. So lavender is wonderful with our upcoming summer season for burns. You can make a cooling after sun spray, great for sunburns. And lavender is also one that's gentle enough to use for babies. So you definitely want to discover and play around with your lavender. Lemon. Lemon is also an extremely versatile oil and one that can be used for anything from scraping a crayon off the walls to lifting your mood. I put it in my smoothies every morning because it's extremely detoxifying and it's very high in the substance D-limonene, which is shown in research to be cancer preventative. So that's very important to me. Next we have tea tree. And thankfully, they changed the name in the new kit. It's no longer called Melaleuca alternifolia. It's called tea tree, so we can all pronounce it. And that's also a wonderful one for immune support. Tea tree is very antiseptic, so it can be used to support ear health in children if they get pain or inflammation of the ears. It's great if you get occasional acne flare-ups. You can put it right on the spot, and usually it's gone within 24 to 48 hours. Many uses for that antiseptic oil. Peppermint. Can't say enough about peppermint. This is absolutely my favorite essential oil, and I get very cranky and a little bit panicked when it runs out. Peppermint actually works on the opioid system of the brain, which is extremely important in mood, so it kind of makes sense now that I find that out. So peppermint is my first go-to oil every single morning. It gets me started, it lifts my mood, and I generally do a lot of paperwork or business things in the morning. So peppermint helps me focus, it helps me concentrate, it puts me in the mood to work and get things accomplished. So I will diffuse 4 drops of peppermint and 4 drops of joy, which we haven't gotten to yet, but it's a wonderful combination, and it just starts the day off on the right foot. And I also will take a drop of peppermint in my hand, so you can use many of the oils this way. And I have very sensitive skin, but I always advise everyone, try this on a really small area of skin if you're going to put it on neat, is how they say it. And that just means without being diluted. On each of the Young Living labels on the back, you'll see directions of how to use the oil, how it should be taken, whether it be aromatically, topically on your skin, or internally. So that's really helpful. And it'll also give you dilution guidelines if it's meant to be put on your skin. So just read those labels whenever you go to use one of your oils. And so this one I'll put a drop in my palm, and then I'll swirl the oil around a little bit in that palm. And then I actually take the peppermint and I apply to my temples and my forehead. It's very cooling, so for any ladies who are having menopausal symptoms, that's very helpful. I'll put some on the back of my neck and on my wrists, and then I cup over my nose and just take a deep inhale. And that just feels like it's hitting your brain instantly because you have so many small blood vessels inside of your nasal cavity that go directly to your brain. And these oils particles are small enough to cross the blood-brain barrier, so they can affect your mood in that way. So peppermint is one you're absolutely going to love. Next we have Joy, which is the one I was just talking about. And this is Joy. It's kind of like that, trying to do it out of the glare. But it's a pink label. And I'm going to be honest, at first I didn't really like Joy because it's a very floral aroma, and I'm not usually a floral kind of girl. I like clean, citrusy, herbal scents. So it took a while for this one to grow on me, but it's now one of my absolute favorite Young Living oils. And as I said, put that with some peppermint, and you'll be wide awake and ready to go first thing in the morning. And many people also wear it as a perfume because it smells so good and so pretty. So that's Joy Panaway. And this was actually my first success story with Young Living. This is a nice, pretty blue label. And when I first got my kit, I have a husband who suffers horribly with knee pain. And he's had 4 arthroscopic knee surgeries on one knee. So he wakes up like a tin man. He's very stiff, and he has a hard time getting going in the morning. So I said, you're going to be my guinea pig for this oil. And he just kind of rolled his eyes like he does with some of my alternative things that I try on him. And he said, sure, put it on. So that was the first one where I saw an aha. That was amazing. We put that on his knees, and within 10 minutes, I'd say he could not really feel discomfort anymore or pain level. He could still hear crunching and was still aware that his knees were bothering him, but it was nothing like it happened before. So if you have any kind of joint discomfort, muscle discomfort, that's really good for athletes after you go to the gym. Give that one a try. Purification. Purification is this one, and we call Purification the anti-stinky oil. So a good use for that one is if you have, like I do, a poor child whose feet smell to high heaven, it's great to take the cotton ball, put a drop or two on 2 cotton balls and stick them in the shoes overnight. It gets rid of foot odors. And anytime, if you travel, go to a hotel room, a lot of those are musty and stale, or they're non-smoky, but people really smoked in there. You can bring your diffuser and run purification. It actually cleanses the air of those odors. It doesn't just mask them with toxic chemicals like a Lysol or a Febreze would do. Stress Away. This is another fan favorite. Pretty green label. And Stress Away is a blend that is used for any kind of anxiety or tense feeling. And a lot of people suffer from too much stress these days, so that's a great one to pop your roller bottle fitment on and just roll it on anytime you feel that coming on. Also great to put in the diffuser at night with lavender, 4 drops of each, and that will help you sleep and calm you down at nighttime, unwind that brain a little bit to allow you to relax enough to fall asleep. Thieves. Thieves is probably a bestseller for Young Living. Thieves is the immune support oil. So anytime you feel you have sickness in your house, you're trying to fend off something, you feel that little tickle in your throat, or you just don't feel well in general, that's a great one to run in your diffuser as well as put on the bottom of your feet at night. And we're not going to talk extensively about that in this class, but the bottoms of your feet are one of the greatest vehicles for getting oils into your system. And Thieves is one during the winter season. I'm surrounded by kids going to different schools, by a husband who has flu all through the office, and I'll run that one in the diffuser nightly and put it on my feet just as a precaution. And I haven't been sick at all this winter, so that's been a lifesaver for me to continue being able to work and not have to cancel appointments. So that is your everyday oil collection in a nutshell. And the citrus brush we went over, that's the bonus. Okay, so we've opened the welcome kit, we've opened the everyday oils, and next is my favorite item that comes in this kit. We've got the home diffuser, and that is an amazing value that comes with your kit, because that's normally quite expensive by itself. And most of the home diffusers will look like this. This is the rose petal diffuser. Now, if you order a different kit or you want to get a bamboo diffuser, yours may look slightly different, but I have these, so I'm going to be discussing this one. So the top of this rose petal comes off, like so. And inside, I'm not going to tilt mine because I still have some oils in there, but there's a little groove inside of there that you'll be able to see when you pop that lid off, and that is your fill line. There are actually 2 grooves, so the inside groove is your fill line. You don't want to go above that because you'll get a lot of sputtering and not a really good release of particles and it's not steam. I don't want to call it steam because it's cool, but mist. So stick to that fill line, and like I said, I like 4 drops of, if I'm using 2 oils, 4 drops of each, or 8 to 10 drops total, depending on what combination you're using. So once you get that in there, the water goes in first, and then you'll put your drops of oil, and then you'll put your lid back on. And it also comes with a plug system. So on the back of this, you'll see this is where the plug goes in, and the other side goes into your wall outlet. And then on the front of your diffuser, this is the button that we're actually going to use to turn on the diffuser. This is really hard to do upside down and backwards, but this is the button. So you'll push 1 time for the light to be on, because it's a really pretty light that comes from the top here, and that'll be a continuous cycle. So it just stays on with the light all the time. And on that setting, it'll probably run for 2 to 3 hours. So maybe if you're just in a hotel room and you're doing the purification like we talked about, and you just need something quickly to get the odor out of the air, that would be a good setting. If you want to have a continuous setting but you want the light off, once you've done that first push to get it on, then push again and hold down, and that turns the light off. Now let's say we want it to run all night, so you're going to do the lavender and stress away combination. So then you would hit once and hit again quickly, and that's a intermittent setting, and that will run almost all night, 6 to 8 hours. So that's what I do this every night by my bedside, and that's a great setting for that one. And once again, if you want the light off, do your 2 pushes and then hold down for the 3rd one until your light goes off so that it doesn't disturb your sleep. So that's your diffuser, and in my opinion, that is the greatest gift that comes with your kit. So if you haven't gotten your diffuser out yet, please get that out of your box and get that going. Because like we discussed, the little capillaries, little blood vessels inside your nose are actually the best delivery system for getting these oils into your system and directly to your brain and to all the cells in your body. So if you're not using that diffuser, you're really shortchanging yourself on the benefits of some of these oils. So that's your home diffuser. And also in your box will come this product guide, and this is every product that Young Living makes, and there are several hundred of them, more all the time, so I don't want to give a specific number, but I know it's over 300 or 400 products Young Living makes, in addition to 150 plus oils. So Young Living is not just about oils. There are things in here ranging from pet collections. If you have pets that you'd like to take care of in a more healthy way, they have collections for animals, from shampoo to special oils that benefit them. There are skincare products. There are oral care products, toothpaste, mouthwashes, things like that. There are makeup products. They have a wonderful skincare line. And if you're not the do-it-yourself kind of person, which some people are not, and that's fine. I mean, I used to think my mother was torturing me when she took me to Michael's store for 2 hours to look at craft products. I would rather be shot out in front of the store. But some people love that, and that's fine. If not, get your pre-made product in your product guide. And so get that out and do look through that and see what other sorts of things you might be able to replace with non-toxic products in your home. And one thing you'll notice when you look through the product guide is, let's just say you're looking at an oil page. At the top of this oil page, there will be a listing out to the side, and it will give what's called a wholesale value, a retail value, and a PV value. So the wholesale value is what you'll pay because you have your kit. So if you go to reorder, that is the price that you'll pay. The retail price would be someone who had just signed up to get a couple of things maybe, and they wanted a retail account. They don't mind paying full price. And the PV value you'll see thrown around a lot if you're a member of our Essentially Living Facebook group. And that is a term that's used to say how many point volume that product is worth. And we'll get into that a little bit later, maybe on a different video. That's something you'd be interested in if you say you want to become a member of the Frequent Buyer Reward Club. You'll need to know that PV value. So just know that it's next to every product in that guide in case you need it. Um, let's see. And if you signed up with me, something that Young Living does not give you, but I feel is very important to give you, is a couple of products to help your education, because I want you to be educated in these oils so that you can use them to better your health. I'm not going to give you a Starbucks gift card and some oils as a thank you, because first of all, Starbucks is detrimental to your health. It's good, I know, and I sometimes indulge, but I try not to. But it's not going to do a thing to educate you and help you start using these oils and really getting benefits for you and your family. So the first thing that I provide to you is this quick reference guide for using essential oils. It's a spiral-bound book, and it is a wealth of information here. So when you get that, you really need to open it, even if you can only read a few pages a day if you have a very busy schedule. Things you'll find in here. If you're interested in the chemistry of the oils, there's some of that type of information. And it goes through, it has a VitaFlex feet chart in there. So when I was telling you earlier about how it's really good to get benefit by putting the oils on the bottom of your feet, there's actually a kind of a meridian system, we'll call it, which equates to an acupuncture meridian system of organ systems and different things that you can affect on the bottoms of your feet by placing the oils in certain spots. So do look at that. That's on page 35 when you get that book. And after that, there are conditions, alphabetical conditions, everything from back pain to children to boils to whatever you might have, alphabetical symptoms and conditions. And there will be a list of oils and how you can use those oils for that condition. So that is an invaluable reference to be able to look those things up and add to your collection if you have something specific that you're working on. That'll give you a guide where to start. Let's see. And in the back, the oils are listed alphabetically, both the singles and the blends. It'll tell you what system of the body they affect, each one. It'll tell you if there are any precautions that you need to take with those, because some of the oils are photosensitive, meaning that if you put them on, you shouldn't go out in the sun for a certain period of time and expose that area. So that sort of information is in there. So just all kinds of information. So that is probably one of the greatest things you're going to get as far as oil education. So please take advantage of that. And the other thing I send you is the Chemical-Free Home Book, which is for you, the do-it-yourselfers who don't mind getting those craft supplies and taking on those projects. And it tells you a little bit about the dangers, the chemical dangers of things that you probably have in your home right now that you're going to want to replace, either by making products yourself or by looking through that product guide I just showed you and choosing some things, maybe a little bit each month, to replace some toxic things that you're being exposed to and your family's being exposed to right now. So there are things in here from bathroom cleaners to foaming facial wash, homemade baby wipes, homemade hairspray, all kinds of things that you can make yourself, and also a little bit, once again, about each of the oils. So that's another really nice resource for you. And I did mention briefly that some of the oils are warming oils, and they may, if you have very sensitive skin, they may burn a little bit on contact. I haven't had that experience, and I'm very Irish and have very sensitive skin, but you may, so just go slowly. And Young Living does make something called V6 oil, which you can order from their product catalog online. And it's good for diluting. And as I said, each label will tell you how much they suggest diluting that oil. And I've never purchased that. Some people really like it. I just use extra virgin olive oil if I want a liquid form, or if I'm making face cream, like in my half-pint jar here, I'll use coconut oil, extra virgin coconut oil. It works really, really well. So that is what you would use for dilution. Some of the facial oils, some people like argan oil or jojoba oil, grapeseed oil, all those work well. Just make sure you get an extra virgin product so you're not putting toxins onto your skin, because the carrier will drive the oil deeper into your skin. And if you are a do-it-yourselfer, a couple of resources for you. There are tons of do-it-yourself recipes on Pinterest. And you can just search on Pinterest Young Living DIY recipes, and more things will pop up than you can ever make. Also, if you are the do-it-yourself type, you want to get glass bottles for things that you make most of the time, especially if you're going to be ingesting them or putting them on your skin. So Abundant Health for You, Abundant Health, number 4, letter U.com, carries some of those products, including the glass bottles, roller bottles, if you like to make your own pre-diluted things in a bottle that you can just rub on, blend. You can create your own custom blends. I know a lot of people with seasonal challenges do a lemon, lavender, and peppermint, and they'll fill it with the carrier oil, like olive oil or the B6 oil, pop one of those roller fitments on there, and then just carry that around in their purse or their bag and use that all day long rather than have to carry those individual oils. These canning jars, this actually is a quarter pint canning jar. I use this one for creams and lotions, and you can make your own bath soaks, which is wonderful and so easy. It takes about 5 minutes in a half pint jar, which would be the next size up from that. So if you have signed up through me, you've become a member of our Facebook group, which is a private group, Essentially Living, and take some time just to look around there, because there is so much information that can be helpful to you in there. You can ask any question you have. People will be glad to help. And lots of people share their uses and their testimonials for oils. And please look through that file section, because there are all kinds of do-it-yourself recipes, all kinds of information that would be extremely helpful for you to have as a new oil user. So that's all I have for you today. And if you have any questions about anything that I've talked about today or anything in general with the oils, please don't hesitate to contact me and ask. I'm always glad to help you further your education. Thank you.